Hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, Aries, let's go into this and just see what storyline we get. I'm in a musical mood right now. I don't know why, but we got a Three of Swords. We got the action of Swords in the reverse. Okay. We start out with somebody is heartbroken over, I'm going to say over the Aries. It's like all their plans that they had came to a screeching halt. Why does this person believe the Aries broke their heart? Where did this come from? Let's take a look at that. We don't usually start with such a blunt message. Embodiment of Wands, Nine of Cups, Nine of Wands. So in this story, hi Patricia, hi Andrea, wonderful to see you. Thank you guys for being here. In this storyline, we have a person who says, all my dreams and hopes that I had pinned on Aries come to a screeching halt, and they shattered my little heart because Aries is over here in divine masculine energy. Doesn't mean the Aries is a masculine, but they're in the action-taking, decision-making vibe, the power of the sun versus the feminine, which would be the power of the moon, the gravitational pull. Okay, so that's all I mean when I say masculine versus feminine. I'm not talking about genders. But Aries made some decisions for themselves to go after their golden egg. Aries is also possibly going where no one else dares to tread. They could be headed for like their dreams, their goals, and wherever they're going to chase their dreams and goals. The reason I say it's like where others fear to tread is because you notice that we've got like this little bird predator coming in to grab up these little loggerhead turtles. But this is like our Aries with the Nine of Wands. They're on their hero's journey. This Aries has made some bold decision to go after what they want in life, to pursue their dreams, no matter what. This could be a character who says, you know what? I'm leaving this small town and I'm following my big dreams. Whatever. I'm moving to LA and I'm trying my hand at acting, and I know not everybody makes it, but I think I can. Or it's like, this Aries is really, they're choosing themselves. And yes, it's an avenue that is probably difficult and it's going to require a lot of belief and confidence in themselves, but this Aries has it. So as they go after their dreams, this character over here is like shattered because Aries is pursuing their dreams instead of pursuing me. The only thing is, I guess, I mean, in the most gentle of manners, I want to say they don't really have a claim, though, to Aries. It's not as if Aries has to stay in one spot and not pursue their happiness in order to accommodate this person's wishes, right? And I'm not saying this person is demanding that. If anything, they're just heartbroken because they're like, everything I was going to do, I was going to pursue the Aries. I was going to do it. I was going to do it. Maybe they've been saying that for a long time, though, also. Maybe Aries has moved on and pursued their own happiness because this person never got around to pursuing, Aries. It's, oh, there's a country song in a week or two. I would have been ready. I would have known what to say. But they just, and somehow fall became spring. I can't think who sings it. It's a man, though. It's like probably a early 90s country song. This is, they saw all this happiness with Aries. I mean, they were imagining this wish fulfillment with Aries. I feel like they dreamt about Aries. They dreamt about the life they'd have with Aries. They pictured the different seasons. Oh, we're going to ride horses on the beach. And, then in the, the evenings that are warm, we'll sit by the river and, count the stars. It's like they had this huge dream and they imagined all of this with Aries. And they were so happy thinking about it. Okay, tell me why, though, this didn't work out. Why is it that Aries has moved on? And we got to come back to Aries and hear their side of it, too. We have life force energy. Something didn't work out because in this case, it almost says, well, Aries got like a surge of power and said, I've got to keep moving on. I've got to expand. It feels like something shifted for the Aries. There was, I'm going to say like a sudden swell of, inspiration. And we got an emperor that came out sideways. I'm not trying to say that this poor person who's brokenhearted, who now feels like all of their dreams have been shattered, that they wanted to pursue the Aries, I'm not trying to say that it's their fault, but this says they didn't actually take action. They were an emperor sideways. They dreamt of a lot of stuff, but they didn't really put it into play. If they had been the emperor upright, they would have been pursuing the Aries. I'm going to say that they were still revving up. They were in the fantasy phase, but hadn't put it into the action phase. And while they were fantasizing instead of taking action, the Aries also had like this idea in their mind, but the difference is they put their ideas into action. This Aries said, you know what, I think I want to be really happy. So I'm going to take control of my life, because if I don't, who will? And I want to pursue my greatest wish fulfillment. And there is one egg is more golden than the others. Here's the thing. I feel like this Aries has actually had plenty of disappointments. This is a wounded warrior card. I feel like this Aries has been in a state of disappointments plenty of times, and they've had to dust themselves off and continue on. And maybe that's what's made them fearless. Look at this Ace of Pentacles. This Aries didn't even have this person on their radar because there hasn't been anyone to pick them up and dust them off so far. This Aries, maybe this person fell in love with Aries, wanted to be with Aries, was planning all of this. But here's the one thing I think they forgot. They forgot that maybe they should have stepped up and been there for the Aries. Maybe they should have stepped up and been a part of the Aries world. Now, maybe that wasn't really an option, but this storyline says that it was. So we're going to go with what the storyline shows us. And of course, these are fictional stories about fictional characters, but all I see here is a wounded warrior where the Aries has had to make their own success. They've had to dust themselves off. They've had to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. They've had to go after their own wishes. And they have made a determination that I will make my life better. I will be a success. I don't have anyone to help me or lift me up, but I will do it. And what I'm trying to do is tough, and maybe not a whole lot of people make the cut, but I'm going to do it because I don't have a plan B. This is my plan, and I'm the only one who can get there. So gosh darn it, I'm going for the gold. I don't think I've seen an Aries story where it's so much determination and single-minded focus. And it's not about love. This Aries is not pursuing romance. This Aries is pursuing turning their life around and finally getting the gold that they really want to have. You know, maybe this Aries is kind of sick and tired of being overlooked. Maybe they're sick and tired of being the person that, you know, didn't have a big leg up in life and has had to make their own good fortune and has had to fight their way for every little scrap they've got. And that's made them pretty scrappy. And that's made them somebody who will, you know, they're like, I don't failure because I've already started from the bottom. The only place I got to go is up, and nobody's lifting me up or helping me. So what have I got to lose? No, I'm full stream ahead. This Aries is very, they are determined to change their lot in life. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit annoyed with this character who's over here boohooing, only because they saw Aries as this amazing wish fulfillment. Then why didn't they get their butt in gear and get over there? Why didn't they go, you know, like tell the Aries, like, I want to be a partner to you. I want to lift you up. I want to be there beside you, you know, during your come up, especially. And I'm just going to say it this way. It feels to me like this character may have had a few more, okay, maybe I shouldn't say this. Let's just see. We got the Nine of Swords sideways. Okay, so everybody has their own cross to bear, right? But it's real easy for someone to get all stuck in their own head and make it all about them, right? This person was like, but I wanted to have Aries. They were gonna be my wish fulfillment, and someday I was gonna, you know, tell them all these wishes and hopes that I had for the two of us. But in the meantime, they were still maybe too nervous about their own fears about doing that. But in the meantime, we have Aries over here at a huge disadvantage that's just trying to struggle through life and get a leg up in life all by themselves. And I guess what I'm saying is, did they not consider Aries has their own stresses and struggles too? Stresses and struggles. It might be like, I don't know how I'm going to pay rent. Meanwhile, this person over here, if their biggest worry was like, well, I'm kind of, you know, embarrassed to just, you know, try to woo the Aries. And it's like, okay, but are you struggling with paying rent? Because it looks like this Aries had like more immediate difficulties because their goal is life. I've got to make my life better. And this character over here was just focusing on, well, I'm really sad because it looks like Aries is, focused elsewhere and I didn't get a chance to woo them because I just wasn't ready to yet. It sounds like I'm being pretty picky. What I'm trying to do, though, is illuminate the fact that, sure, everybody has their own fears and worries, but on the scale of what's a bigger worry, I'm going to say this is a bigger concern. The chips are stacked against me, but I still got to fight for my right to build a life for myself. And that's the kind of struggle Aries was facing. And this person over here was just facing, well, I'm really sad because I had all these great plans and, I was going to be super happy with Aries. And now they seem to be out of reach because I just wasn't ready to step up and be a full-blown emperor yet. So I'm coming down a little bit hard on them because I'm like, I think Aries had a lot more going on in their lives, a lot more things that they had to fight against and fight for than this character did. So maybe that's why they aren't a great match for Aries, at least not right now. We got a high priestess in the reverse. Everybody knows that it's not a great match. Aries knows it and this person knows it. The time frame that they could have stepped up, they didn't. I think Aries maybe did wait around for this person for a little bit and then finally was like, okay, they're so not showing up as anything. Maybe I could have used a friend, maybe I could have used a partner, maybe I could have used a lover, but they didn't show up for me. So it's time that I stop thinking about them. And I think that they know this too. It's like, oh, but I was gonna, and it's like, but now Aries gone because Aries kind of irritated that I took so long. And so now they're not thinking about me at all. For the high priestess being the reverse, both people have the same acknowledgement. Something that could have been wasn't because it wasn't grabbed a hold of in time. The Tower in the reverse, nothing fell apart because nothing was built. So it's not a great tragedy on one hand, but it does say that something was never, there wasn't an investment. They never built a tower. They never got around to this. It really feels like someone who could have at any point in time pursued the Aries kind of wasted their time. And meanwhile, the life that could have been, that they could have pursued, they didn't pursue it. And now Aries is on a different track right now. And I don't think that that's any kind of a tragedy because there's a reason that characters aren't together. We've got a King of Pentacles that is sideways. There was not going to be stability here, not at this point in time. We have an Emperor sideways. We have the King of Pentacles sideways. We still have a lack of genuine ability to build. I don't know if it's because this character number one over here is just not, they don't feel the same urgency to I really got to build. Maybe they have a little bit more comfort zone in their life. So they're not starting from rock bottom. When you've got a safety net under you, if you've got breathing space, you don't feel the same need to claw your way through life because you have a safety net, whereas this Aries doesn't. This Aries, and I'm sorry, I keep going back to that, but this Aries is fighting for something that, they're really going to have to work hard for it, but they're willing to do it. I love the fact that the Aries is not messing around, putting their life on hold, wondering when some romantic partner is going to show up in their lives. I love the fact that this Aries is like, look, I got my own success that I know I can reach. And that's where my emphasis is right now. It's not even on romance. It's about making my life what I need it to be, which is a success. And you know who's going to make it that way? Me. Okay. So tell me a little bit more about this Aries journey. Page of Swords, they are at the start line. I feel like this Aries is slated to go really far in life. Yes, it looks like it's a starting point. What it is with that Ace of Pentacles, of course, it's the starting point. It's the mindset shift. This Aries is determined. They've got big goals, big plans. I think this is, maybe it's even in this year. Look at this. We got the Knight of Coins. We got the Seven of Coins. This Aries is completely content to invest in themselves, work hard. I don't know why I just want to say marine biology, eventually moving to Hawaii, working in Hawaii, being a marine biologist, maybe being like a Jacques Cousteau, or, like they have a real plan for their lives. And it's something that is probably going to be a pathway that not everybody takes, but they can already see the progress. They know exactly what their game plan is. This Aries is investing. This Aries, you notice all the dominoes? They know that they're setting the rest of their life in motion right now. And even though it can take time with the turtle, they're going to enjoy the journey. And that's a really important message also. I think that this Aries is going to be able to celebrate many, many, many benchmarks in their life. They're going to have a life of one success after another, after another, after another. Not a life of just toil and work, but rather a life that is full of successes. And that's all because of the perspective that they have. This Aries is doing what they want, doing the thing that's important to them, and focusing on life, not just on romance. I think that's a really great, great message here. Four of Cups. If this Aries ever thinks back to this person that didn't pursue them, they go, yeah, that's a disappointment for them. The love that could have been. I remember them. Of course I do. But they sat on the fence. They didn't make a move toward me, and I can't afford to sit on the fence. So what happens with that person? That person sees Aries. I wonder if Aries is moving to pursue these goals, these dreams, because this character never made a move in their direction. What happens to them? We have Temperance, and my, we have the Emperor. So they do go through the finishing touches of becoming the Emperor. They get balanced. They become the Emperor. And what is their position in regards to the Aries? The Hermit, the Ten of Wands. Interestingly enough, they think long and hard about, why didn't I pursue that Aries? And then I'm going to say, meeting Aries and being too intimidated to move toward the Aries for whatever reason, and then eventually making themselves into a person that would be confident to move toward the Aries, makes them think long and hard about their own journey, about who they are, about, roads that we don't do and don't take in life. And they lay down some pretty significant burdens, and they get to know themselves really, really well because they met the Aries. The Aries was very important in this character's life. But we have the Strength card in the reverse, followed by the Page of Wands. First, I would say they're too scared to move toward the Aries, but I think they're just reflecting on the fact that they were too scared to. And at this point, I don't think they're too scared to. We have them standing on this dry desert that's cracked. There's been no water flowing, no emotion here for a long time. This is a situation where they have not talked to Aries in a very, very, very long time. I don't know why they were too intimidated, but I think that was the underlying reason. They were scared. Aries was maybe scared of not having rent, scared of not ever moving forward in life, but they were just scared of maybe love. They were scared of reaching out. They were scared of putting themselves on the line. Now that they realize that, they got a little suitcase in hand and they're walking across this dry desert. Is this person headed their way toward the Aries? Aries has been very much more focused on career and life, death and rebirth. Well, there's only one way to look at that, for me anyway, which is anything is still possible. This character has gotten to know themselves very well. They've become an Emperor. They've become balanced. By the way, they could be Sag. They could be an Aries also. They've come out twice as that Emperor now. And that is Aries energy. We also have Leo, so strong, strong, strong fire. We also had them as a Virgo with the Hermit card. And now we have a Scorpio energy. The bottom line here is that they are finally ready to perhaps have a do-over. I feel like this person they're going to actually, if they've reflected on how scared they were, they're not scared anymore. They may do the brave thing and they may come right toward the Aries, show up, suitcase in hand, and actually want to show how different they are now, want to go ahead and address that time from the past, address what the fears were, address old history. This is them kind of standing there being this orator. I have so much to tell you, so many things that I was really scared. I was really intimidated by you in the past, which is ironic because at every point, what we saw is that the Aries was the one who was at a disadvantage, yet this person who seemingly had a life that was a bit easier than Aries, they were the ones that were scared, not Aries. And I think that's a really important message. I think Aries had some serious power within them. And I think this character could not have been with the Aries regardless, not until they had power equal to the Aries. If they came from a life that was easier than the Aries did, they didn't have the same struggles the Aries did, then they also maybe didn't have the same courage that they built up inside of themselves yet. Now they do. So anyway, I'm going to leave that one there, Aries. I didn't know this was going to get so long. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Lindsay, thank you. I will tell Mr. Aries you said hello. Hi, Voodoo Ninja. Great to see you. Sindhu Shankar, how are you, sweetheart? I'm really good. Happy New Year to you also. I hope you're doing great. Abundance 23. Hi, hun. Johnny the Carnot. Always great to see you. All right, guys. Take care. Bye for now.